Hey guys, it's Sharon. I am one of the admins from the Vestibular Hope page, and I'm actually off sick today. I'm not feeling great, but I am getting the time to return some emails and discuss some on the page about compensation and barriers to compensation. And someone had asked a great question yesterday, I believe, the days are running together, about why we may wake up and feel worse and then get better throughout the day. And I had mentioned that I believe that this is due to compensation and the decompensation cycle. And somebody didn't know what that was, so I thought this is an important concept that anybody out there who's trying to recover needs to kind of understand. So I drew a diagram. I apologize in advance. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. So just bear with me. Okay, so this is your brain. It's much more complicated than this, but this is your brain. Let's go. Just stay with me, okay? So when you're born, you have neurons and neurotransmitters and pathways that you need to form to learn how to walk, crawl, stand up, be steady, know where your proprioception is, so know where your body is in the environment. So when you're learning to walk, you start out with these little dotted lines, so they're pretty weak. But over time, these neural pathways will strengthen and they'll solidify or stick, and the line will become deeper or less resistant. So when you try to stand up and walk, your brain goes, okay, this is how I get from A to B. I just follow this pathway. So you live like this and you develop and deepen these neural pathways for years until you have your vestibular event. In my case, it was viral labyrinthitis that caused vestibular hypofunction. For other people, it's vestibular neuritis, what have you. So suddenly we realize that this pathway is broken. So what happens? We wake up in the morning, maybe possibly after a virus. Most cases, it's a viral thing. But we wake up in the morning and we try to get up out of bed, and anytime we try to use this pathway, which we have so enjoyed for many years, we will be symptomatic. So anytime you try to use this damaged neural pathway, you are going to be symptomatic. So what do? We have to find something to do, right? The brain is trying really hard to right itself in its environment. It really wants you to get better. So this is where compensation comes in. So there is another way to get to B. You just have to use a different pathway, and there are millions of these in here. So let's say you try to get up in the morning and you try to do VRT and you try to get out like I've been telling you guys to and go for a walk. Eventually you're going to form a new dotted line. These are like the same dotted lines that you had when you were born and you had to learn to walk, okay? So you have this dotted line. It's not very strong. So what happens is with VRT and habituation, where you're exposing yourself to environments and things that make you dizzy, you are strengthening this dotted line. But the problem is when you're sleeping, or if you're sick and you're not moving, you're not working on these pathways. You're not. If you're sitting there and you're looking straight ahead, or you're on Facebook, but you're not really getting up and getting out, you will not be strengthening these pathways. And instead, your brain will still be trying to use this original pathway because it's so deep. You've had it for so long. So every time you try to use this pathway, you're going to be symptomatic. Now for me, I understood this concept. I was, attacked my recovery. I love seeing other people doing that. I know you're out there doing that. I really tried to deepen these lines, but a girl has to sleep. So when I would go to sleep, when I'd wake up, my brain would forget that it was sick. It would try to use this pathway, and I'd kind of, I would kind of sway my way to the washroom to brush my teeth, and do my VRT, and then I'd remind my brain, okay, no, we're working on this one, let's try this one. So over time with VRT and habituation, I strengthened this pathway, and many of you have, and I'm seeing so many people recover, and I'm talking to you, so many of you online, and I'm so proud of you, and you've strengthened this pathway. Now these pathways are not easy to form, and they take some time, up to a year or two to form. So we want this pathway to be as the least resistant, or as less resisting as this one. So we want this one to be nice and dark and readily available, and eventually with time it will become just as strong as this one, and your brain will automatically, when you wake up, know, I can't go this way, I can't use that one, I'm just going to start my day out and just use the good one. And there's the A's and B's all over the place in your brain, and that's essentially compensation. There are other parts to this theory, including some theory on not migraine associated vertigo, but vestibular migraine, where for whatever reason your brain just keeps using this old pathway, and that the repetition of these misfiring of signals is what's causing you the migraine and the dizziness. But like I said, that's another video. So anyway, so get out there and strengthen your pathways, and know that when you are symptomatic, that's actually your brain healing. It's actually your brain actively healing. So that's all I have today on my sick day at home. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer you. Like I said, this is kind of a dumbed down version, but I wanted everybody to kind of have some idea about what neuroplasticity is, what I mean when I talk about compensation. And yeah, so anyway, I hope this helps someone. Thanks.